Hey guys, it's time for my October Fangirl Favorites, but it's actually posing as the Doctor Who book tag. I just couldn't come up with anything to talk about for this Fangirl Favorites, so I decided to just do the Doctor Who book tag since the new season of Doctor Who is it's been going for quite a few weeks now, I think. It's like episode 9 or 10 at the time I'm filming this video. I'm just really enjoying this season of Doctor Who so far. It's been fun. There's been some ups and downs, but for the most part I think I have liked it. My favorite episodes so far have been Robots of Sherwood. I personally really liked Time Heist. I thought Kill the Moon was pretty cool. Listen was one of those episodes that kind of scared the crap out of me, but then it turns out it's not really actually so scary, so that was a pretty good episode. And I loved Flatline, the little miniature TARDIS. Oh, I have a miniature TARDIS too! Doctor, are you in there? Oh. What happened? Why are you shrunk? Come on guys, if you watched Flatline and you have your own little miniature TARDIS, you probably wanted to take the little TARDIS, put it in your bag, and pretend the Doctor was in there. Anyone else have a little adipose? I love the adipose. I could get 1,000,000 adipose. That would be awesome. Adipose are one of my favorite little alien creatures. Oh. Anyway, enough dragging out. I need to get to the actual book tag. This book tag was originally started by Sabrina Handel and Novels and Nonsense, and I was tagged by Adriana from Perpetual Pages. So thank you, Adriana. I've been dying to do this book tag since I love Doctor Who. So we have the first Doctor, where you have to pick your favorite first book in a series. I had to go with Wicked by Gregory Maguire. I do like the whole series, but there's just nothing that can top Wicked. It is by far and away the best book in the entire series. And then we have the second Doctor, and you have to pick your favorite sequel. Catching Fire all the way. I've read, tons of great sequels, but there's just something about Catching Fire that is just mind-blowing. And this is the sequel to The Hunger Games, obviously. And this is just Katniss and Peeta have to return to the world of The Hunger Games, and it's like The Hunger Games All-Stars, which is just brilliant. Then we have the third Doctor, and pick your favorite trilogy. I have read a lot of trilogies in my lifetime. I could have gone with some of the more popular trilogies, but I decided to go with a trilogy that I don't think many people have actually even heard of. And that would be the Wideacre trilogy by Philippa Gregory. This trilogy is about this estate called the Wideacre Estate. And in the first book, we meet Beatrice, and her family is wealthy, and they take care of this estate and all the people inhabiting the estate. But Beatrice starts to get power hungry, and she wants to run the estate herself, and she doesn't want it to pass to her brother because, he's a male and she's a woman, and she hates that. So Beatrice is just a plotter and a schemer, and things get wild and crazy in this first book. And I can't really tell you about books 2 and 3. Books 2 and 3, the second book takes place a good maybe 10-15 years after this book, and then the third book takes place another 10-15 years after the second book. So this trilogy kind of takes place through about 3 different generations of women, and they all tie into the Wideacre Estate. And that's all I can tell you without giving away spoilers. But if you love Philippa Gregory, if you love historical fiction, I think you will really love this Wideacre trilogy. It's just a big family drama. There's all sorts of craziness in it. If you can handle murder and backstabbing and incest, then I think you'll like this. For the fourth Doctor, you have to pick a book with a colorful cover. I really didn't even know what to pick for this. I'm sitting here looking around my room. I can't really find anything with a super bright, colorful cover, so I decided to go with The Pink Carnation by Lauren Willig. This thing's just pink. Look at it. It's just covered in pink from top to bottom, even the back. And then we have the fifth Doctor, and pick a book that features a sport. I wasn't very creative with this. I think I picked the exact same book that everyone else has picked for this question, and it's Quidditch in the Harry Potter series. I seriously looked around my room for a ridiculously long amount of time trying to look for any other book that featured some sort of sport, and I just couldn't find anything. My mind was just totally blanking, and Quidditch was literally the only thing I could think of. So, Quidditch. And then we have Doctor Number 6, and pick a book with a dark and powerful villain. Totally going with the governor from the Walking Dead graphic novel series. That guy is a freaking bastard. He's an egomaniac, he's racist, he's sexist, he is like one of the most genuine sort of villains you can come across. He is like a real world villain. For the 7th Doctor, you have to pick an adult book or just a dark book. I decided to go with one of my favorite new reads this year, and it is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Just one of the most darkest books I've ever read. It's about Nick Dunn. His wife Amy goes missing on their wedding anniversary, and so Nick is held in suspicion. Did he murder his wife? Did he not murder his wife? Who knows? Just twist after twist, manipulation after manipulation, just an amazing dark adult novel. And then we have the 8th Doctor, pick a romantic book or a romance book. Does anyone else like Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor? I just adore Paul McGann as an actor anyway. So I liked the Doctor Who movie with him. I can't say I really liked his overall look. I hated that stupid wig they put on him. Ugh. I'm assuming it was a wig. Anyway, got distracted with Paul McGann. For my favorite romance book, I decided to go to the Pink Carnation series by Lauren Willig. This is just a continuing series. I think the 12th and final book in the series is coming out in 2015. This series takes place in both the modern world and in Napoleonic England, and each book just features a different heroine and hero. And there's just romance and love in the air all the time. But yeah, this is a super cute series, so fun, very girly, lots of romance. If you like historical romance, I think you will really enjoy this. And then we have 8.5, The War Doctor, who I do not have a picture of, who is played by John Hurt. For that, pick a book that you wish you could forget. And my automatic answer for any question that ever deals with this sort of thing, I automatically go to Herman Melville's Moby Dick. I freaking hated that book. I never want to see it again in my life. So let's just move on. And then we have the 9th Doctor. And for this, you had to pick a series or a genre that made you pick up said series or genre again. For that, I decided to go with Sepulture by Kate Moss. I am not a fan of the first book in this trilogy called Labyrinth. It's just so badly written and boring and flat characters. I recently decided to give Sepulture a chance, and I'm glad I did. This was so much better than Labyrinth. And now that I've read Sepulture, I definitely plan on reading the 3rd book in the series called Citadel. So thank you, Kate Moss, for making Sepulture a much better read than Labyrinth, or else I would not have continued to read this trilogy. And then we have the 10th Doctor, where you pick your favorite super hyped book. David Tennant. David Tennant is totally my favorite Doctor. He is the first Doctor I started with, so yeah, I love him. Plus, David Tennant is just hot. Don't have any more to say. So for this question, I decided to go with the Song of Ice and Fire series. I never even knew about this series until the show started. I had no idea it even existed. So before the show even started, there was so much hype, and so that got me excited because of that hype. And then I started just hearing all these fantastic things about how good the books were. So because of the hype of the TV show and the books, I decided to get this, and I'm glad I did because the show is probably my all-time favorite show at the moment, and I just freaking love these books. And then we have the 11th Doctor, so pick your favorite children's series. I think most everyone picks the Harry Potter series for this. I think that's just cheating and it's a given. Everyone loves Harry Potter. So I decided to pick something different and went with A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I think after the Harry Potter series, I'd have to go with this series being my next favorite children's series. Just so cute, so witty, full of literary puns. It's just, this series is just something that I think every English major could enjoy. And then the final question is for the 12th Doctor, who I don't have a picture of because my calendar stopped right there. And for this question, you have to pick your most anticipated release. I've not really looked too far ahead about what some of my favorite books might be coming out in the new year. So a book that I found out about recently is The Last American Vampire by Seth Grahame-Smith, and it is pretty much a sequel to Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. And I had no idea Seth Grahame-Smith was working on a sequel to that book, so I'm really excited to read it. And it's about Henry. Henry was the vampire in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. He's the one who kind of helps train Abraham Lincoln into becoming the badass vampire hunter that he is. And Henry was one of my favorite characters, so I'm really glad that Seth Grahame-Smith decided to make a sequel and make him the focus of the book. So for right now, I think The Last American Vampire is my most anticipated release. So have you guys been enjoying Doctor Who? What have you been thinking? Do you have any cool Doctor Who merchandise? If you do, put it in a video or something. That'd be cool. And if you have done this Doctor Who book tag and I haven't left you a comment or anything, please send it my way. This is probably one of my favorite tags at the moment, and I really love watching everyone's responses to it. So that's it for this month's Fangirl Favorites / Doctor Who book tag. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you liked this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys!